Jenny Mitchell had been surrounded by wealth and luxury from an early age. Her parents were successful businessmen and provided their beloved daughter with everything she could wish for. However, they tried to bring the 10-year-old girl up properly, telling her that success in life can only be achieved by hard work. Anyway, Jenny's life was rather calm and uneventful, until one incident had turned everything upside down. The Mitchells had a driver who was taking Jenny's parents to work, as well as the girl herself to school and extracurricular activities. That evening, when Peter picked Jenny up from foreign language classes, he had already been terribly tired. Before that, he had spent the whole day wandering around the city with Mr. Mitchell and then took the couple to the airport. On the way home, he noticed a vehicle that was outriding them too late, and his car skidded and crashed into a road barrier. As a result of the accident, the fuel tank was also damaged, and gasoline began to flow onto the road and soon caught fire. Fortunately, all this happened not far from the bus stop, where people were standing at that moment. Some of them ran to help, but the fire was already flaring up, so they hesitated to come closer. Through the windows of the car, they saw the lifeless body of the driver and little Jenny, who was beating the glass in desperation. Her door was jammed and she could not get out, and suddenly one inconspicuous young man resolutely stepped out to the burning car. His clothes were old, so he looked a bit like a homeless person. However, he had a brave heart. He lifted a piece of pipe and broke the glass. Then he pulled the girl out of the car. As soon as he ran away from the vehicle, there was an explosion. Another man grabbed the girl from his arms and rushed with her to the approaching ambulance. Jenny's savior brushed off his old jacket and quickly left in an unknown direction. After examining the girl, the doctors did not find any serious injuries, but decided to leave her in the hospital for several days. All this time, she was asking where her savior was. She later asked her parents to find him, but the search came to naught. Anyway, this incident had changed the girl's worldview. So when she grew up, she decided to help others. At the age of 15, she joined a volunteer organization and began to help homeless and sick people. After 10 years, she was already heading her own charity organization. One day, while distributing food to the poor, she noticed a thin man with a burned scar all over his face who was standing and shifting hesitantly from food to food. Jenny approached him and asked if his scar was bothering him and how she could help. The man asked her for a bowl of soup and a couple of slices of bread. He said that the scar didn't hurt. He got it when he saved a little girl from a burning car 15 years ago. Jenny could not believe her ears. "That was me," she replied in a trembling voice. "I have been looking for you for so long. Why did you leave so quickly that day?" Tears welled up in the eyes of the man, and he told her his story. It turned out that Mark Richards had been an orphan and spent most of his life in an orphanage. Then he ended up on the street and began shoplifting. He left the scene of the accident because he didn't want to get in trouble with the police. "I don't know how to thank you. I want to give you a lot of money so that you can buy yourself a house," Jenny exclaimed. But Mr. Richards shook his head. Then she offered him a job and housing in the volunteer center, and the man happily agreed. Since then, they have been working together for the benefit of people, and Mark Richards has found a real family among the employees of the center.